welcome. You are listening to KWOU's As Yet Unnamed D&D podcast. We are here on a Tuesday evening with no idea what time it is for you, but we're going to be doing some D&Ding. We got some dragons. We got some dungeons all lined up. We're going to just run through the squad. Kick us off.
I am Matt, and I'm playing Grimbly.
Okay.
I'm Rose, and I'm playing Mouse.
I'm Sean, and I'm playing Jean.
Maiden, I'm playing Mr. Miralax.
And I'm William, and I will be our DM for this evening as we launch into yet another chapter of this party's as yet untitled adventures in the endless archipelago, the vast and sweeping open sky full of the floating islands of a land with no end and no end of dangers and trials and tribulations for our party to go through. And we are going to pick up with them aboard the Swiftfoot, an airship that is currently shooting through the sky like so many shooting stars shoot through the sky above. You guys are under sort of a clear blue openness with sort of puffy, pale white clouds scudding across the sky around you. The ship is sort of almost bouncing a little bit as it meets the resistance of some of the clouds that are sort of sitting on the same layer as it flies. The sun has warmed the deck under your feet for those of you who are barefoot. And those that are not, your skin is sun-kissed and warm as you start arcing down through the clouds towards an island that sits far below as you make sort of an approach with the sun at your backs. You guys have all already heard from the captain that this is so that you're not spotted by what lives there. You guys are all standing at the bow looking down, and we're just going to pick up. Do you have any conversation or anything on your minds?
What a beautiful day.
'Tis truly true.
It'd be more beautiful if it wasn't so hot. Mouse is wearing a giant trench coat, by the way, and she's saying that she's very hot. She's visibly sweating. There's dirt running down her face from how much she's sweating, but yet she refuses to remember she has a thick, like honeycombed, dripping like jacket on her. You know, she hasn't washed it in 5 years, and there's still like dried up, gross stuff on her. Anyway, yeah, she's standing.
Yeah, some of the gross stuff is emerging onto the deck as like the sweat and whatnot sort of breaks it loose. The heat sort of hardens everything, and it cracks and falls out the bottom every now and then.
There's a reason why her intelligence isn't that great. Like, let me just tell you. What's Grimbly doing?
Gazing over the edge, and I'm gonna turn to everybody, and I'm gonna ask how far do you think it is down there, and do you want to throw like a rock or something off?
I don't even wait. Can I make a perception check to find a rock?
There are a couple of pebbles nearby.
I throw it.
Arcs out into the sky. Do you all like lean over, following it as it plummets below?
Ooh, look how
Yeah.
far it's going.
Wow, it's
Wow.
really
Oh
cushioned.
my God.
It's
Really
Whoa.
suck
so
if it
crazy.
hits someone.
Still falling.
So there's
Still
no
falling.
like, so we can see it falling like all the way down.
It's like the sky is very clear. This is not an environment in which
Okay,
there's
it's not
much
cloudy.
pollution, and the clouds were largely the ones that you were sort of bouncing over as you sort of came down and began your descent. So at this point, it's sort of a pretty clear drop, and you getting relatively close. You're sort of chasing the pebble as it falls in this airship. So you lose sort of sight of it, but you can kind of imagine making it out. You're not sure if it's imagination or the actual pebble, and you see it sort of arcing down until it disappears into the woodlands far below. The motion of it and its disappearance from your vision, you sort of have that moment of like everything being like a little heat hazy because you were focused so tightly, and then you have to sort of zone back, and you see bits of motion on the island as you guys are sort of making your approach. You see sort of chunks of what look like liquid silver, and in some places what looked almost like emeralds sort of seated on the side of sort of the mountains. Some of them shift, and you watch as one particular silver patch actually sort of gets up from where it lay on the rock and takes to wing and arcs out over the woods and sort of the sense of scale comes to it as you realize like quite how big this drake is as it takes off and flies across the forest basin of this particular island.
I'm gonna be meta real quick. What's a drake?
Just another word for dragon.
Ah, okay.
Dragon without like front feet, right?
That is technically a wyvern. I don't remember if drake is technically different.
Okay.
With or without wings? That's the biggest thing.
I don't recall.
Okay.
I'm using drake interchangeably with dragon in this
Okay.
case.
Okay, sounds good. Does it have wings though? Can I see
This
it?
one does have wings. It is a very large silver dragon that is now just flying out over the woods. It looks like it's maybe looking for a goat or something.
Can we
If
can
only
we
we had a goat.
Yeah, if only we had a
Where did
goat.
that go?
I wonder where that goat
I don't
went.
know. Where did that go? Hey, unrelated. Mouse, you're looking pretty dirty, so I'm just going to cast prestidigitation on you and clean you up.
Sorry, real quick. What's that?
So
Making you
mouse
clean.
mouse at this stage is like WTF and promptly feels the entire sensation of grime, dirt, sweat, all of that sort of palpable layers of just what has always been there. Disappears as you sort of go through a magical cleansing of your entire personage.
Mouse is uneasy. She has never. It's not like she hasn't taken a bath. It's just that the
You took
dirt.
one 5 years ago, I
Yeah,
believe.
yeah. The dirt. Yeah. 5 years ago, the dirt and the grime are symbolic to her hermit-like ways and her. And it relies heavily on like her base of character. So when you take away this grime, she stands in disgruntlement, staring at her clean hands.
Hey, don't worry about it.
But how will the bugs know that I am safe? They can only smell human skin. I smell like human skin.
I
Can
cleaned the
I
bugs.
use prestidigitation to make her smell like dirt?
Ooh.
Yeah, you re-dirtify mouse.
Yeah.
I just want to smell like dirt.
Yeah,
I don't want to
I'm
like.
giving you the scent of dirt.
Yeah, it's like
Thank you,
someone
Grimpley.
took like
You might be an alcoholic, but you are a good man.
I prefer the term casual alcohol enjoyer.
I'm
Just, he
functioning
likes to have a good
alcoholic.
time.
You have a problem, Grimly.
You have a problem, Grimbley.
I'm fine.
That's what an alcoholic would say, Grimbley.
Yeah.
That's also what someone
How
who's
much
fine
have
would
you
say.
been drinking, Grimly?
Nothing since we left the bar.
Can I do an insight check on that?
Can I do a perception?
Yeah. Can I do a perception to see broken bottles around the street?
I will not make you roll. You, in fact, know from the captain's proclamation as you guys left port that there is no port nor any other alcohol aboard ship. And, in fact, it is highly deterred. And, at least to your knowledge, your companion has not had any on him.
So how's it feel being sober?
We just watched a rock fall. It's cool.
Fantastic. Well, I'm actually going to. So what do we all know about dragons? I have this children's book that I purchased a very long time ago, and we could crack that open. But what do we know about dragons? Like, actually, what are your guys' interactions with them, and do we know what? Yeah, just.
I don't think Mouse has had any good interactions with dragons. If she has had them in the past, it was like
Say it as your character.
oh. No, I have not had any interactions with dragons unless you count that one time my parents forced me into a dragon den to test out my taming skills. Did not end well, but I have deliberately forgotten that memory. Squeak.
I've spent so many years in the woods around no dragons, so I don't know anything about them.
Can I do like an insight check?
It would be a history roll.
History?
If you would.
What is history? Intelligence.
It would be insight if you were trying to see if anyone had any particular reactions or if
Oh,
someone
yeah,
was
yeah,
keeping
yeah.
a secret.
Question real quick. Are dragons a type of animal?
So In recognition of D&D's rules, no. In recognition of me being the DM and me wanting to see what cool thing you come up with, yes.
Okay, cool. It's only important to the backstory. Okay.
I got like a 7.
Yeah, you're familiar. They're really big lizards with wings, and they bite things and breathe stuff, and they're generally pretty hostile.
Is that like? Is it like a memory like that is like determinately what like all that I know, or is it one of those things where like I know I'm forgetting something, but there's just no way I can remember what it is?
It's sort of like if someone asked you about like tanks. Like, yeah, they're made of metal. They like roll places and they have a big gun on top. Like, that's a tank, right? That's all I need to know.
Unless you played World of Tanks.
That's a separate thing. That's a separate thing.
World
So
of Tanks is not
that's-
D&D canon.
Yes, so the extent of your knowledge is that, and you maybe have forgotten something, but it's never
Okay.
like registered as important.
Okay.
I like the Sherman personally.
So let me tell you all about dragons. I'm an expert.
Okay.
Enlighten
They're-
me.
Imagine like a bear, but bigger.
Okay.
They can fly.
Yeah.
I know about bears.
Bears are
Yeah,
cool.
so it's kind of like a bear, but bigger, and more lizardy. They're the bears of the sky.
They're the bears of the sky.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
You know, I
Ripley,
think I'm catching on to
have-
this dragon thing here.
I'm very familiar with the species of bear, and I assure you there are nothing like dragons. I don't think bears like hoarding objects of human interest.
Fish, gold, they're really not that different.
Mouse is starstruck. Absolutely starstruck.
I like to check about how much I know about bears.
Oh my god.
Roll history or nature.
I'm rolling both. Nat 20.
You are enormously knowledgeable about bears, which is really entertaining because this is an environment where islands are so specific biome-wise. Like, you can have one island that's just like a contained sea, or one that's just a forest, or one that's just a desert. You are, in fact, enormously literate in the very minimal and very sparse varieties of bear, because bears are very dangerous in like an earthly sense. In an environment so consumed by sky and by winged predators that breathe fire or dive at many, many miles velocity, bears are on the food chain for many creatures, including dragons. But you are very informed. You know quite a lot about bears. Is there anything in specific you'd like to know about bears? Or should I just give
I'd
you
like
the...
to try to identify one of the dragons as a bear species.
Looking...
What?
I'm going to need more of an explanation.
Okay, never mind.
You'd like to look at a dragon and say, oh, that looks like an Ursus Major Majoris?
That is exactly.
Okay, you look at that silver dragon that's flying by down below, gleaming like huge spikes running across its back. Like, you watch as it turns, dives down, and just shreds through the treetops. It tackles something on the forest floor below. And you're like, yeah, that looks like an Arctis Ursus Major.
That's definitely that bear. Grimly,
Yeah.
I like your wavelength. Fish, gold, same thing. So I
Yeah.
think we're good on that information. I would like to look in the storybook I have for dragons.
Okay, roll a... you know what? Actually, roll a percentile die for me to see how much one of the stories is about dragons.
Did you tell me what the percentile?
So a percentile die can be 100-sided die, right? So
Okay.
it's just a like 1 through 100%. In this case, you can roll 2d10, one being the tens column and one being the ones column.
Mhm.
So in this case, Sean has decided that he doesn't care about the ones column. He's only rolling the tens column, and he got 20%. So one story in his storybook is 20% about a dragon. And so you know that dragons really like towers, and they really like young women with really long hair. And they like to keep them penned up and sort of contained. And you don't recall the exact details. You can pull out the story and check, but yeah, they're really into long-haired women and towers and gold.
Got it. Okay, so there's this dragon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was really into golden towers.
Mm-hmm.
And he really liked women with long hair.
Okay.
And he was not a bear.
Got it.
And that's all there is in the book. And I close it.
Sick.
Sounds good to me.
Mouse, I will note, Mouse is probably at book level for this recitation and notices that the page that it was open to was not the dragon page.
Mouse isn't gonna really say anything. She as a druid, she knows a lot about animals, but her distaste for, bears and kind of mainstream druid animals are leaving her out of the conversation. She knows that Jean, I don't know why I want to go like Jean with it, but she knows that
Jean-Luc Lizard.
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. She knows that like Jean and Grimbley are absolute idiots when they're talking about this, but she's gonna stay quiet and look off the edge, and just not talk, because like she just knows if she starts talking, they're gonna just yell at her, and she's just not ready for that right now. Okay.
In this lull in the conversation, as Mouse is like sort of keeping it in. You guys hear the captain in the back, sort of the wind whistling by as the dive grows steeper, the sun at your backs. You hear the captain call, "Airdrop in 30 seconds!"
What does that mean?
I like to scramble and look around and see what other sailors are doing. And
One of the sailors nearby is like tying some knots and like looks over at you guys and sees you guys looking a little confused. And he's like, "Oh, do you have your coins?"
First time.
no, what do we do?
First time.
Drop coins. Here, I got you. And he like reaches into his pocket and he pulls out 4 wooden coins. Each one of them has like a burnt insignia, like a rune on it. And he holds them out and he's like, "Good thing I grabbed some spares today. Okay, you guys take these, one apiece." And when he says drop, you go and then we'll go. And he points for the first go down towards the island.
What do you mean go?
And then he points for the second go back up towards the sky. It's an air drop, but it's really more of an air jump.
No.
So do these have like a feather falling thing on them?
Well, what do you think? How do you think we deal with the possibility of dropping out of an airship?
Are the coins for going down or up?
I thought.
They're for going down.
How do we get back up?
Oh, we'll come pick you up.
Why don't you just drop
When?
us off?
What time?
Oh, man, you guys must not have talked to the captain. Yeah, so we'll be back in about 72 hours on that inner bay. You see, and he points down into the woods, and you notice, so it's like a C-shaped island with sort of this rim of mountains, and then there's like a little bay near the center in the woods, and he points towards a particular inlet there where there's sort of this like little watery interior space. And he's like, "Yeah, you just go down there. We'll be in the water. You just come and we'll pick you up and we'll get going." 72 hours.
We have to jump.
Sounds good.
Yeah, as much
Sounds
dung
good.
as you can get.
Wait, we have to. Okay, hold on. We have to jump from
It's
the
we're
ocean.
not
only
holding.
it's only like 4,000 feet. You'll be
Yeah.
fine.
You saw the rock. It was fine.
Yeah.
We got a coin or something.
Mal, I do not
I bet
understand
my
how
coin
all of
that
you
we-
are okay with this. We're what?
I mean, I'm probably just gonna fly partway down. I feel
So-
like I have an advantage
Screw
here.
you, Grimly.
So this sailor like catches your eye, Mouse. Like he recognizes that you're a little uncomfortable. He comes over and he sort of bends down a little bit, so he's like eye to eye with you, and he's like, Hey, listen, I know this is hard.
It is.
A committed, lifelong seaman such as myself, really is like we sign on for this.
Mhm.
But you're a grounder. Like this is something a little bit new to you.
Uh-huh.
I recognize that. I know this can be hard, but looking at you,
Uh-huh.
I see someone who can handle this. I see someone who can do this, and I think that This is going to be a good experience for you. It's going to open your horizons. This is something that you can remember and that you can tell stories of to your children, to your family, to your friends. This is the kind of thing you can sit down and share around a fire in many years and be able to laugh about. And I know it's hard now.
Uh-huh.
And you don't have to do it. If this is something you don't want to do, we can figure out something else.
As soon as Mouse hears you don't have to do it, she feels a great, overwhelming urge to go do it, and she lunges herself from the ship, holding the coin, assuming that it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the thing that can get her down. She just jumps.
She just jumps off the ship.
Absolutely jumps.
The captain's
Because
like,
it is the equivalent of just saying. It's the equivalent of saying, I don't think she'll do it.
the captain at that moment says, "Early drop," and like starts spinning the ship. The other three of you, do you jump or?
Am I?
I cast identify on the coin.
Hold on, we're gonna
I'm
do
gonna
this.
yell, "Hold on," and I'm gonna try to like fly sprint and try to get her so we can drop at the right time.
So you say, "Hold on,"
Yeah.
and then you jump off the boat.
What?
Yeah. Wings. Gonna go try to
Right.
get
So
her,
you're
bring
saying,
her
"Hold
back
on"
up.
to them, or who are you addressing, or to her?
I'm saying like the captain can stop going stanky leg on the wheel, so I can just get her back on the boat.
Okay. Yeah, you dive off the ship and disappear. You hear one of the sailors going, "Hold on, the hell is he talking about?" What are you guys doing?
I'll just look over the edge and see what's going on.
I
I
don't.
have no idea how to use this magic item, so I'm identifying it.
Okay, you identify it as an item enchanted to activate a feather fall effect when you reach 100 feet from ground.
All right. I eyeball it.
Or sorry, 50 feet from the ground.
I eyeball it and see how fast Grimly is catching up to Mouse.
Grimbly, can I get an athletics roll for that
Please
dive?
roll a 1. Please roll a 1.
What is that?
Athletics?
Yeah, but that's
Right.
Dex.
Athletics is strength.
Oh, 15.
Ooh.
So you dive and you are like gaining velocity. The wind is whipping by. You can see it like just your eyes are watering and it's just woof, woof, woof. You can see yourself gaining and you're getting closer and closer. Mouse, are you just like feet together just diving?
Absolutely.
Oh my god.
Dropping. Mouse, like her trench coat is flip flapping in the wind, and she looks up. Well, she's holding.
So you say flip flapping. I want to note your trench coat is dragging by your armpits and
Yeah.
just completely just
Yeah.
parachuting over your head.
Well, it's more of like someone like shot the parachute because it is like there's no wind resistance with this coat. It is just pencil
because it's
dropping.
all holes and tears.
Right, and so she.
And they're getting bigger.
Yeah, she has a couple of like bugs, and I think she doesn't know that she has like a rat in her pocket, but the rat is clinging for absolute life. And
The rat is like 3
Yeah.
feet above your
yeah,
head, dangling like
dangling
holding
dangling
onto
by
the coat,
the trench coat,
like tail whipping
yeah.
back and forth.
Yeah, and I have like a jar of like little tiny stink beetles in my pocket that I'm like trying to hold and keep all my things together because I'm a grounder, so like everything has gravity, so I just rely on the gravity of my pockets to keep everything. So I'm grabbing all of my items in the air, trying to shove them back into my pockets when I see Grimly chasing after me in the wind, and I want to scream, but I realize that you can't really talk to somebody while you're falling at that speed. So instead I'm making the motion of not to catch me because I am trying to catch all of my items, and if I'm taken out of the air, at least some of them will go away.
I wanna check here. As you're like grabbing these bottles and jars and catching these containers, and you're seeing like almost cartoonish like cockroach jars, like the cockroaches like dangling in midair in the jar because gravity is they're falling.
Yeah, I have most.
Are
of my
you
stuff,
holding
though.
the coin?
Yeah. No. So I have it in my hands. I'm just
Okay.
trying to grab.
So you're one-handed catching
Yeah,
everything.
it's not like I have a ton of things in my
Okay.
pocket. It's that I have like.
You were just gesticulating with both, and I wanted to verify that you hadn't just tossed the coin.
That would have been really funny.
It would have been.
I'm
also giving you the opportunity to say that you did.
No.
Okay,
I imagine me like I imagined it actually in my pocket, but then I realized like no, I have it in my hand.
Okay.
And I'm
catching
trying
with
to
the
just
other.
grab the roach or the stink
Okay.
beetles and put them in
Are
my
you
pocket.
holding the coin like out, like this will save, and then like desperately trying to grab things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have it like balled up in my hand. I know that
Mhm.
if I let go, I will die. So, because
Knuckles going white.
yeah, absolutely. And I see Grimbly, and I'm as I put the cockroach. You said cockroach, now I'm
Yeah.
like all up in it. As I'm putting the stink beetle jar in my belt loop or whatever. I see Grimbly chasing after me in the air, and I'm not happy about it at all. I'm a free woman. Nah. All right.
Okay.
Your turn.
So you are pencil dropping. So you are a full like 3,000 feet down from where the ship is. You've got about 1,000 feet to go. Grimbly, are you going to try and speed up and make one mad dash to catch her?
Yes.
I will say, you did not take a coin, correct? Because you can fly, or did
No,
you take a
I
coin?
took the
You
coin
took a
anyway,
coin?
yeah.
Okay, good. Thank God. Okay, go for it. Roll another athletics. See if you catch it.
yeah.
That is a 5.
So you go to put on another burst of speed, and you are slowed by a rather distracting sight, which is the rather large sort of, I would describe it as like a dark charcoal, like not quite a black, sort of lizard-like head that has popped up over the treetops and is like looking up at you a little bit like a periscope through like the fir trees. It's very much looking at you. It's got a little bit of that like hawk-like, like head turned sideways, big sharp beak, big fangs, lots of spikes on the back of the head.
I'm just going back up.
Full stop, back up.
yeah.
Got it.
No.
Mouse, you plummet the last 1,000 feet. You notice this periscoping dragon head as you're descending. And then you like get 50 feet from the ground, and that is about 10 feet above the treetops. And you come to like almost a stop and start slowing down. And so as you like make that that 10 feet above the treetops, you're like sinking below the fir tree like tips, and you can see this periscoping lizard like one eye turned to look at you like
I realize this is not a good idea. I realize at the last moment as I see it, I maybe shouldn't have jumped. Maybe.
You land on the pine needles below, and it smells nice, but it's a little sticky.
Okay, so I'm on the ground.
Yeah.
What do I see around me?
It is a sprawling forest of some kind of fir or pine trees at this stage. A lot of like needled boughs. It's got that sort of open space on the lower forest floor. So there's little sprigs of ferns and sort of briary patches in the areas where the sun is able to get through the needles. But for the most part, it's relatively clear. It's just straight up pine. Trees, and then just sort of their lower branches mostly either broken off or sort of spare of needles.
How far am I away from where we're actually supposed to be?
You don't know where you're supposed to actually be.
Brilliant.
I just want to jump in and say I saw all this happening. I saw the little lizard dude from the ship, and I chose to jump and follow them.
Nice.
That's all I have to say.
And I follow. But I'm going to cast Minor Illusion to try to look like a cloud.
Okay, so there is the flickering semi-cloud shape of a snake man falling next to Miralax the monk as they plummet down and shoot right past Grimbly, who's trying to fly.
See them?
You see them, like, you're, like, backing up, like, no, I'm not doing this crap. And then you see the two of them drop by you.
I kind of go, hey.
Shoot you a message.
I was so worried for a second that I was just going to like go back up and then find out all of them were gone. I guess I'm going down again.
Okay.
Free falls like immediately.
Do you fly down? Do you, like, free fall down? What's your approach?
You
You just go down with them. You can just go down with them.
I'm gonna just fly down.
Nice. So yeah, you guys all make your descent. As you get within 50 feet, Grimbley's coin activates, and you are slowed.
It activates anyway.
Yeah, it activates anyway. This is not a
Dang.
smart enchantment.
I figured.
It's automated.
I figured.
You guys all land on the ground. I will say, Grimbley, you as you make your descent, get a choice. You saw where Mouse fell.
Yeah.
You saw where Jean and Miralax fell. As two separate places.
Oh no.
Okay.
And I will say, because the ship was still flying, right? So it had a good, 15, 20 seconds of continuing on before the second jump was made. So there is a pivoting lizard head between the two drop points.
Like equal distant?
Roughly. You are going,
Okay.
very fast through the air, and you do feel a little bit like a snack on the wind. So you don't have a lot of time for gauging.
Yeah. If it looks about equal, then I'll go to them.
Okay. And by them, you mean Jean and Marillac.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the three of you gather under the pine boughs, and yeah, what's the plan?
Gene, I need you to message Mouse. I'm gonna
Yeah.
try to guesstimate and say go towards It sounds weird, but go towards the dragon you saw, and then past it, and then we're there, and then we'll try to meet up. And I relay that to him so he can try to message Mouse.
Breaker 19, I'm gonna need you to sneaky teaky past the feathered friend, and then you will eventually meet up with friendly bogeys. Thank you. Good day.
Thank you, Jean. I say in a very sarcastic voice. And I'm quite confident because I've been stealthing my way through my life. So unseen by the thousands.
I will note,
Hold on.
Mouse is out of range, but because of how good that message was, it gets through.
That is the best thing I've heard all day. That is really good to hear. Okay. Thank you, William. I saw you checking your phone, and I was like, oh no, there's definitely something wrong with.
It's got a 120-foot range message,
okay.
so it's got that flaw.
Okay. It's got breaker.
I need you to make inspired message wordings every time. As long as it's good content, I'll be like, yeah, sure.
It was really good. It almost made Mouse laugh, but where'd the goat go? So so she goes, okay, Jean, and she can she just go in that direction and roll
yeah, I mean,
or-
you're pretty intelligent. You're a wise person. You have a good sense of direction. You have a good sense of sort of the natural world. You turn and head in that direction. I will ask you to roll perception.
11 plus, hold on, and that's wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 2, so 13.
Okay. So you head in the direction Jean told you. You keep an eye out to some extent, right? Like you're looking for the lizard that was there.
Is it a lizard or is it a dragon?
I'm using them synonymously.
Oh.
My apologies. I'm trying not to just say dragon.
No, I really appreciate it because I don't know. I like being on my toes.
You're all good. I will just unilaterally use all kinds of terms for dragon because I just am used to trying not to use the same word for this thing over and over.
I like it. Thank you, Picasso.
Happy to help. Okay, so you are continuing that direction. You do notice that this particular area is a little on the dark side. It is also a little swampy.
Swampy?
Yeah, the fir trees, you can see there's chunks and patches where the ground dips and sort of the pine needles are layered, and there's sort of a black, mushy marsh mulch that fills in the sort of the divots that have grown between the sort of chunks of earth held together by roots. And you can tell it's a little bit darker because the tree tops are a little bit higher in this particular sort of grove. And amongst their roots, the earth has been sort of dented and filled with sort of a layer of old standing water. You continue on your way through?
question. Are there any like bugs or mosquitoes or like
Tons.
leeches?
Tons, so many. Like looking around, you can see leeches like sort of in the water. You can see just like huge like groups of flies and mosquitoes just sort
Okay.
of like moving around. Like it is the air is abuzz with the insect life of this particular portion of the woods.
Mouse is quite happy at the moment. While some people might itch and scratch at the thought of it, Mouse has, taken the time in her life to be a part of these types of environments. She lets the stink bugs go. She no longer has any use for them, nor do they for her. They've, fulfilled their quest of some kinds. And so she takes her jar and she kindly asks some leeches if she can like take them on her journey. I don't know what they say. Can I use animal handling?
Yeah, I would let you use animal handling. Go for it.
Okay, cool. Well, I like leeches. Ooh, 19, baby. Let's go. +7. Woo, woo.
Apparently the leeches like you too. Over the ensuing maybe 10, 15 minutes, you managed to collect an entire jar of leeches.
Love to hear.
You like put a little lid on it. It's got holes so that they can breathe. There's some moisture, a little bit of like terrain in there. Do you try and like pack it full, or do you?
No. Like
just,
I
like,
only
5 or
need
6,
I only
or-
need a few. We've come to an agreement of some sort. It's not like a verbal agreement, but
An understanding.
an understanding that I do need blood samples at some point, and they need to eat. So, like, if I can acquire, the type of material they need and the material that, I need, we can come to an exchange for maybe a better environment, that I can release them into until I can find another. And as I walk through, mosquitoes are buzzing around me, not drinking my blood or anything, but just like flies and mosquitoes are just following me, tangling themselves in my dreads, and as I walk on through. Have I encountered the lizard yet?
No.
Okay. So Mouse is getting covered in dirt again. She did a little customary roll in the dirt, laughing and giggling to her heart's content, and then she remembered that she had to continue on to her journey to finding her friends. So she's now covered in like dirt, mud, worms, all the goody stuff. What?
As you sort of continue on through the trees, you have your roll and you get coated in the mud. The insects are all around you. It is delightful. You're having a fantastic time.
I am.
You do feel as you like step through this sort of mulchy, marshy ground, something almost like snake-like, sort of. What are we whispering about?
Nothing.
Something snake-like, like catches on your foot, almost like you like hooked a snake and like continued walking.
A snake.
I'm sorry. For the viewers who are not present, Rose is very unnerved by the fact that I mysteriously rolled a d20 and got a 20, and is trying to figure out what the hell that means. And Sean is meanwhile psyching himself out to no end.
I really like snakes.
I like nat 20s, bro, but only when they're nice. So what's going on?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it
I
feels
like
like you kicked a snake, and
I don't like that. Okay, so I kicked a snake in the mud.
well, like you were walking through, and right,
Okay.
like it's almost like when you catch a stick because it was like
Oh.
sitting a little high and it like hits your shin.
Do
It's
I
like
know
a snake.
that do I know that I did that?
Yeah,
Do I-
you step by and you feel that like sort of fleshy
Oh,
catch
no.
on your ankle.
Mouse is so worried and goes down to reach for the snake and tries to pull it out of the mud to apologize. Can she
It's
do
like
that?
it's sort of like a dark sort of black color and it's scaly, and you sort of pick it up and it's still in the mud on either end. You're like picking up the middle. It's almost like when you're pulling like a root or like a power line out of the ground, and it's sort of just
Can she just keep can I
you just keep pulling.
can I perception check for what this is actually? Like
So yeah, you can perception to try and spot where it's going, or you could try and roll like nature
Yeah,
or
nature.
animal handling to see if like you got any vibes there.
can I specifically I want to know what it is.
Yeah. So nature would probably be your roll.
go. 17 plus 4.
This feels
Sure is.
like you sort of heft it for a moment, and you notice that it's got like the scales on the back are slightly ridged. Think like a crocodilian tail, and it's very long and whip-like.
Oh no.
And as you're moving up it, it's already thickening from like maybe like 3 fingers thick. It's thickened to like a wrist or a bicep thickness. And it doesn't appear to be waning. It appears to just continue growing, and it's moving towards a nearby tree as you like continue picking it up.
Definitely not a snake then.
Yeah, you would not classify this as any creature you've had
Any contact with?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
but you did mention that you had some repressed memories, so maybe it is from a repressed memory, maybe not. But
Yeah,
you don't have any.
I'm remembering like tactilely,
Yeah.
like what this is, but I'm still curious, and I continue on, even though I have a sense, for some reason, that this is wrong.
You continue up up whatever it is, and you come to the tree, and it goes around the side of the tree, and you go around the side of the tree, and you can see it going up the tree, and you like you're holding it, and you're just sort of looking, and it weaves between the branches, going up. You look up, and there's a very large, dark creature, sort of dangling, roosted between an interweaving of upper branches, and it is the very same periscoping lizard that you had spotted in your plummet. It is currently looking down at you with 2 very baleful, sort of yellowed eyes. It's got 2 horns, one coming out from the back of each side of its skull, and they sort of come forward and sort of spike right about here. So if for what is a good example pairing, almost like goat's horns that spiral back around the sides of the heads and then come out forward, sort of like tusks. It's like that, only it comes out sideways and then forward. To a similar tusky, but more sort of like headbutt to eviscerate rather than headbutt to like impact. Or puncture, I should say, not eviscerate.
Oh dear. Okay.
Hello there.
Oh, okay. It's okay. No, it's all right. No. I'm sorry.
In my swamp.
I am so sorry. I immediately dropped the tail. I apologize to the highest degree. I didn't mean to trip. Oh, and she's just
The tail is like slowly wrapping around your feet.
Oh, don't do that. She's like stepping out of it.
What?
Oh, listen, you don't want to like eat me. I really don't taste good. I promise you. I don't taste good like at all. I've licked my arm before.
Nothing tastes good to begin with.
You know what? I thought about that when eating like tomatoes, but when you eat it all the way, it just tastes gross, and I promise you it's not going to be a good idea. I taste like tomatoes, and I hate tomatoes. I don't think they're very good. Could you just let me pass? I don't think you want to. And she's just like stepping out and just trying to like get away.
So you're like stepping out. The tail is like continuing to curl back in on itself.
Out of it, and she's like, I really don't want to fight you, and I really don't want to have to like call my friends to fight you. I want to have friends, do you?
You have friends?
No.
Were you going to see your friends?
No, friends. I just pull out the jar of leeches and I go, my friends. My friends. Do you like leeches? I don't think you like leeches. They're
a nice garnish.
I don't know what to do here. I don't particularly come into contact with your type of persons. Can I
Isn't it a privilege?
Woo! Baby, let's go. Mouse doesn't know really what to do.
So
She gets very nervous near like bigger animals. She usually likes to hang around the underdogs, the smaller types of vermin, in life, and the trauma of having to handle bigger animals is coming back from her childhood. She's riddled with fear. Ooh, what was that sound?
the
crazy.
distant grumbling of another creature. We are going to sort of pause in this moment as Mouse is like scrabbling to get out of the coils that are slowly shepherding her back into place, like keeping her in the middle of this grove.
Why'd you roll a nat 20? Oh, God.
And then we're going to pivot over to Grimbly, Miralax, and Jean, who are chilling in a nice calm bit of fir trees and, you know, nice dry sort of pine needle forest floor, some nice pretty fern sort of bouncing in a light breeze.
We're just walking towards where Mouse was.
Oh, you're
falling,
heading in
correct?
her direction?
Yeah.
You are.
Are you not? That was the whole
I'm
plan. You
also-
sent the message because of it.
But no, she was supposed to meet us
thirsty.
here. Why would
No,
we
we were
move?
meeting part way.
When lost in the woods, you never move, Grimly. All right?
I can talk to trees.
Ask the trees
That's a
what's
good
going
point.
on.
All right, I follow the tree guy.
I'm gonna ask the trees where Rose, or like, if they hear anything, if they're feeling anything.
Is this just sort of generally just sort of like announced to the area?
I'm asking. I'm like, I walk up to a tree and I'm like, do you know where a small, dirty, like, person is?
Goat man.
You're looking for a small, dirty person?
Yes. Have you seen her anywhere?
Her.
My friend.
I've seen small, dirty things.
Like what?
They're where the wind doesn't blow.
Oh. So further into the forest.
Yes. Where it gets darker and stiller.
That sounds ominous. I guess we'll go that way then. Thank you.
Good luck.
I give the tree a nice pat.
The boughs of the tree sort of creak overhead.
So can I just affirm what we're doing? We, even though I saw where she landed and we told her where she should be going and we know where that is, we are going to listen to a random tree.
Hey, don't.
I just want a yes or no.
Yes.
Sure.
Trees know what they, don't worry.
I said sure. Let's go.
Who is in front of this trio headed to the darker, stiller part of the forest?
I am not in front.
I guess I'll take on
The tree guy.
the tree guy.
Help.
Can I get a
Help.
perception or nature roll from you, sir?
I'm a guidance user.
Help. Help.
Roll.
You're out of vocal range.
Oh no, of course, but Mouse is at this tone. Just help. Just giving up. Just what? God,
What
what?
did you? What? So that's nature.
Perception.
Okay. And what is your bonus? +3 to a 5 and a guidance
That's
2
10.
for a total of 10.
Oh.
You continue into the woods. Because your perception was so low, I have to ask you to roll nature as well.
I'm gonna literally die.
Empirical fact or tree?
You gotta roll. No,
It is a nat 20. So you know your way. Like you have a feel for these woods. The tree gave great directions. Like you're doing great things with what you have.
I said don't worry about it.
You got it. It's all good. It's
Tree
all
quick
good.
maps.
You continue through the woods, and that same marshy ground, the sort of the slow sitting water, and the slowly decaying undergrowth grows more and more frequent around you. You continue on, and it is actually, in all fairness, I should ask you guys what your passive perceptions are, Grimbly and Jean.
Oh.
So what is
So-
your base level of notice when things go wrong?
I'm trying to remember. This character sheet is not the one I usually
It should
use, and I
be
don't know what anything
10
is.
plus your perceptions. 12?
Yeah, it'll be 12 for me then too.
Okay. So all of you continue through the trees.
There's no way I'm not looking actively though right now.
Would you like to roll?
Yes.
Go for it.
I'm not looking actively.
Wow.
That is, I believe, 8 total. So your active looking is somewhat nervous and stressed, and you are noticing less than you would normally by about, I would say, a third. But yeah, so you're trying to keep an eye out. You guys continue on. Grimly, how high is your nature bonus?
Oh, sorry.
You're
I
good.
forgot my own name for a second.
Yeah.
2. I have
Two?
a +2 to nature.
Okay. Yeah, you're pretty sure you're headed in the right direction.
Okay.
All of you continue on. And you manage to strafe around the various pitfalls and sort of marshy ground and the places where sort of the depth of the water is sort of belied by its surface appearance, where you would have, slipped into a sludge that would have sucked you down to a depth you do not know. But you managed to work your way around it. And eventually you hear Mouse's voice through the trees.
Help. Help.
And the rustling of footsteps and something serpentine in the undergrowth, but far larger.
Mouse, the Legion was looking for you. Where did you go?
Are you like with? You're with me?
I'm looking at you.
You're looking at.
They emerged from the trees like 100 feet away.
I
I'm
tell
Can
down.
I
them.
see the dragon?
No.
I tell them.
I
I look at them.
You can see the dragon.
No,
was
he's like, hey, where have you been? It's like, I look at them with fearful eyes and I go, stop, don't come here, don't like, just stop moving. And I point up, but I try not to like speak. I do this like hands across my neck action, going no.
You feel something
message.
tightening around one of your ankles.
I message what's going on.
Can I message back? Like I said, do you remember that lizard man thing that was poking up from the trees and we were trying to avoid it? Well,
Wraps around your other ankle.
it is wrapping around me as we speak.
Okay.
Please
I'm gonna
help.
Try to convince it to leave you alone
Why
by
didn't I think of
saying
that?
we have a military force.
Why didn't I think of that?
Okay.
I
Do I know this?
messaged the group.
Okay, so
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
everyone's informed.
I am going to call that off as soon as possible. And I'm going to go talk to him like I'm trying to just be his pal. What do you mean?
I think that's a super terrible idea. And
So
you're
these
also
guys
gonna
are
be
discussing. You start like feeling your legs pull out from under you.
Help!
I'm just going. I'm
Help.
going to the dragon.
Mouse flips upside down and starts like rising towards
Help.
the treetops.
You don't want to do this, sir. I don't taste very good. Stop,
I'm like,
please.
I'm curious.
I'm not.
Grimly, you like take
Yeah,
off running towards it.
I fly up to him. I'm like, not like super close, but like.
I will say this is like pine boughs everywhere, like branches, like the trees are
not like flight, but like above the ground.
okay.
Because I see Mouse get like
Okay.
dangled.
Okay.
I don't like
so
being
I'm
off
gonna
the
show up and be
ground.
like, hey, we're just here like trucking through, like checking out your woods. We're sorry, like if this is your like domain or whatever. We're just moving through, trying to just like forage and survive. You know.
Okay. So there's 2 rolls I as a DM would like you to make right now.
Oh,
The first one is
definitely.
acrobatics for flying in dense forest.
Oh,
Even at like walking speed.
Even at walking speed, like you've got like a 40-foot wingspan, and it's dense trees with like sharp sort of jagged
Oh,
boughs because of the
that's
dragon
fair.
climbing
That's
up and
fair.
down.
That's fair.
So acrobatics first.
Acrobatics.
Woo, baby, let's go.
You're doing great. I saw an 18 on the die.
17.
That's still solid. So you're doing okay. You have not hit a wing on a sharpened branch as of yet. The second roll I would like you to make is persuasion.
Matt, I detest you.
Oh God. That is 14.
I appreciate your intent, but I'm still hungry.
We can help you get some food.
Mouse's ascent stops. Say more.
Well, like, I'm not totally sure what you eat. Like, people eat different things, but like,
I eat
help you-
most things.
we can get you most things. Like, we can do that.
Do tell.
Well, like, what kind of specifics do you want? Do you want like meat, like animals? Do you want like some like vegetation?
Meat for meat sounds fair.
Maybe Jean's goat. Maybe we can.
We don't have a goat.
We do
What
have a
goat?
goat. We
What
have a goat. 100%.
We don't have a goat. I'm messaging.
I do
We
like
don't have a
goat.
We don't have a goat.
You don't have a goat?
We
This is a
could get one.
message.
We could get
Oh,
a
sorry.
goat. We could get a goat. Maybe a goat. Maybe we can get a goat. Oh, hold on. Wait, can I? Wait,
How-
I should be able to use.
No, I'm
animal
gonna ask you an interesting question, William. And
I'm so ready.
I can use animal handling. I forgot.
how
that I
much
actually can do
meat
that. I don't
counts
know.
as a small trinket?
I would say a small trinket.
Like a
usually.
ham?
Because
Like it's not a trinket, like it's just meat. So like a ham?
I would say a pocket full of like salted pork would count as like a trinket. I'll allow that because like
Sick.
you would have like it would be the equivalent of like having a pocket full of beef jerky.
Yeah, okay. So I can just prestidigitate that. As
I
a-
don't
just
think you can
as a
prestidigify
small-
anything edible, and I will note it does
Is that
disappear
true?
after a period of time.
Does it?
I believe so.
Oh.
I would also note that if you would like to prestidigify, the knowledge of what you are doing is likely. I mean, you don't know whether this dragon understands magic and spell work, but it's a possibility. It seems smart enough to talk.
I mean, are fae spirits made of meat?
I don't think we
Qualify
want
face spirits.
Summon fae. Summons choice of fae spirit obeys commands.
Wait, I can do that.
I believe some of the fae offered in the summon fae may be meat based.
So
Wait,
could
I totally
use
forgot I could do
summon
that.
fae to make that and then like command it to just let this guy chow down?
Hold on. I'm
Make
checking.
sure it's like a bear or something.
Uh,
like, I don't like
So
bears.
it is a face spirit that manifests a corporeal form. So it is like a hard ghost. So that is not meat.
Well, no. Well,
Dang.
we can still trick it with that.
No, I'm not gonna trick him. I'm just
What?
okay.
I am-
I'm just
Mouse
gonna ask him.
hanging from the
Can I
air.
like? Can me and my friends go get some meat and then come back to you?
Please don't leave me.
Interesting. What guarantees do I have?
Well, I mean, this is your domain, so I assume you have like pretty heavy knowledge of the land, and we're not really gonna escape you.
There are many here who lay claim.
Oh,
Oh.
I mean, you could come with.
I walk out of the trees and say, I think this is a fantastic idea.
Just want to be safe.
Better solution. You can fly off. They can't. You stay. They get me my lunch.
They get you the lunch, or I do.
They.
So where do I go? Just
With
away?
me.
Oh, okay.
Good.
I have another proposition. I'm going to message these guys before I said that I.
Mm-hmm.
What if we tell them where the ship lands.
That is not a good idea.
No.
No,
That is just straight
Terrible idea.
not a good idea.
Terrible
Because-
idea.
because they obviously have the firepower to take out one of these things.
I don't think that's true.
Oh.
I think you underestimate like someone's Ferrari flying in the sky. They're not just.
I
gonna
also
let
think that has
go.
political ramifications that I don't want to deal with.
Not if they kill it.
Definitely if they kill it.
What do you mean? If they kill a dragon,
If they know we brought it there,
they won't know because it'll be dead.
they won't know that the dragon that we showed up with, that they killed, showed up to eat them.
No.
No,
We're,
no,
we'll
no. Why
I
would
think, I think what
we-
Gene is saying is that we're gonna send the dragon there, and then without them knowing, we.
Yeah,
send-
Why
we
not
can
just
post-
go try to find some animals and bring them back? That's way
Because,
Because we
you're
have to go
splitting
find
half of
animal
our
dung.
party.
Not half. It's you three and me. Look, you guys go.
You're gonna
I'll
die.
I'll hang out with them and play checkers or something. I don't know. Go find some bears or something.
Mouse and I are very. We know the woods well. As
Yeah, so you
say.
can find
We-
meat.
Okay.
Go
Okay.
get
Okay.
it,
John.
Okay.
We
Fine.
got
Fine.
this.
Fine. I can. Well, technically, I could summon. I haven't summoned like a beast in a while.
No.
I haven't summoned a beast in a while. But no, well, he was trying to summon Fae. I'm trying to summon an actual beast. Okay, so I haven't summoned beast in a while. All I know how to really do is like small, bugs and vermin and whatnot. But I can try to maybe summon a bear, but I don't know how well that would actually like.
Okay. So go try to find meat. Use that as a plan B.
Okay.
So plan C is make something up, and then plan D, if it really gets to that, is your plan of going to the ship.
Okay. Sounds good.
Or we could just leave you here.
We're not gonna do that, Gene. We've what we've been together for 5 years. We're just gonna leave our good feathered friend.
And he's drank all of my money away.
You know what? But we're gonna get
You
it
were
back
also
when we
in the
find
bar.
all the dung.
And most of that was probably the hotel for 5 years.
Nah,
Okay,
I would have invested.
can we
We're gonna
please?
go get the
I
meat.
am
We're gonna go
losing
get the meat.
blood
We're gonna
as
go
we
get the meat.
speak. It's all going to my
We're
head.
gonna get the animal. We're gonna get the meat, and so everything's gonna be fine.
Okay. We're
Sick.
gonna. Okay, sick. Sir, can you please let me down? We'll find you some meat. I'll find you the best. I'll find you the
The
best
tail
bear meat in the
loosens
entire
and you
world.
mid-sentence drop to the ground.
I almost break my neck, but I'm okay. Why is my last name Drew? Okay, sorry. Continue.
Yeah.
It
You-
does nothing more.
You
Oh,
three
okay.
get out of here.
Okay.
What are we
Let's
about to do?
just like we just start walking. I start walking, or we start walking, and I'm trying to track. I'm trying to remember how to track again.
Mouse, I
I
think we should.
ask the trees.
So okay, I can talk to plants, and
Okay.
you can talk to bugs. I think
And-
we need to
yeah.
like, merge those together. and,
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
yeah, and we need to call upon the force of the forest, and to help us with this.
Okay. I don't think any animal would be willing to be eaten.
It's true.
So we're gonna have to find something like a monster, or like something that is trying to maybe trying to kill us, maybe to go feed it to. So, but with the off chance that we don't find it, because I don't want to kill just a random animal. I can always. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Although
Seems efficient.
Although I
what we
don't
wanna do.
necessarily like bigger animals, I don't have anything like super like against them. I'm still a druid. I still have the love for all animals in my heart.
I'm not.
Okay, well,
And we're bartering for Grimley's life.
I do agree. So you know what? You've changed my mind. Let's let's do this. I don't know how this exactly works because I'm not.
You're all good. What is the spell or ability?
It's Mighty Summoner, but I don't. It's not like it's like a druid class feature
Oh.
That adds
right there.
hit points to the people.
What is the spell you want to use?
It's not necessary. It's just a druid class feature.
Oh, okay. And it
I
doesn't
don't-
say what it does?
I
Well,
don't.
it says conjured beasts and fae. It's a magic attack.
Yeah, that's not summoning like an actual animal. That's summoning like the spirit of an animal to like buff you and attack.
Okay,
Mhm.
hold on.
But you can. Their druids have like I think it's a spell that lets you summon.
Where are my
beasts.
spells? I don't know my spells.
I will say summon beast is calling forth a bestial spirit that manifests in occupied space.
Ooh, okay.
So it is
Yeah.
it's the same issue as the Fae.
I don't have my spell sheet here with me.
How about you summon a wolf
Oh no,
to help
prepared
us
spells.
hunt?
Hold on. Conjure Fae, heal, plane shift, mirage, and arcane. No, I don't have it. I have beast sense. Is that
Might help you
something?
find something.
Okay, can I use beast sense then?
Yeah. Hold on, doing a quick check to see what that does.
Ooh, I got a Charlie horse.
So beast sense allows you to touch a willing beast, and for the duration, you can use your action to see through its eyes and hear what it hears.
Okay, that's not. Oh wait. Well, I have mosquitoes with me. Maybe I can go send them to find something.
You could indeed. Do
Could
you reach out, touch a mosquito, and send it scouting?
Send all of them, like all of them, like a
Nice.
swarm.
So
No, I got like 5 near me. I got like. Oh, only one.
For thematic purposes, I would be very entertained to see you send out a little drone swarm of mosquitoes.
Yeah.
So we'll go with that.
Okay, is that animal handling?
I will not make you roll.
Really?
Yeah, you're all good.
Spell moment.
Okay.
Spells are great. So this swarm of mosquitoes scatters out amongst the woods. You quickly spot a few deer a little ways away. You also spot some larger creatures, what looks like maybe a cougar moving through the trees, as well as what looks like, and this, looks a little weird. There's definitely something. One of your mosquitoes, looking through its eyes, is a little weird. It's it's a little warped. The vision doesn't work quite the same. But as far as you can tell, it's looking at a tree, but the tree is like moving through the woods. Like the tree is taking steps and its branches are like shifting so that it doesn't catch on the other trees as it passes by. Almost like a single tree walking through, almost like a person through a crowd, like shifting to like make like way.
Is it? It's a tree moving. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Okay, that doesn't sound like it's made of meat. But I do want to inspect it. Is it okay if I request that the mosquito like stay on it? And
Yeah,
for,
we'll
like,
we'll say you
future-
can give it like that intent. It
Okay.
flies over and it lands on the surface of whatever this creature is, and it feels sort of barky. Like you can tell it thinks of that as bark, and that's what it feels. And you can hear the sound of the tree moving. It sounds like bark on bark. And then it like sees a little crack, and you can see through its like magnifying eyes that in the crack in the bark there is something fleshy below.
I inform my group of this discovery. Should we just go after like a deer, or should we go after this tree thing? Maybe if we crack it open, it'll have some, juicy tenderloin inside.
Well, how big is the tree, and how big is Grimly?
What's
What's the size of
The tree is about 35 feet tall.
I feel like that's a little bit over what we promised. I think at least 2 deer would be a weight for weight exchange.
Okay,
for Grimly.
so I think that's a good idea, Gene. I'm gonna keep that mosquito on him for future reference, though, if that's okay.
Yeah.
'Cause that's very interesting, and
Yeah.
I've never heard a fleshy tree before, so I'm gonna keep that in the back of my mind, keep that on the back burner. But we're gonna go and we're gonna go get some deer for our dragon friend.
Okay.
Okay.
I would like, let's see, for hunting, I would like 1 roll for nature to track down the deer. I will give you advantage because you do have bugs on it, so you get to roll twice, take the higher.
It's 4 twice. It was 4 twice. It was 4 2 times.
You guys go to make your approach on the deer, and
oh, but it's 4 twice. But I have +4 for nature. I'm not sure if that matters though.
it helps.
Okay.
So instead of like falling and like breaking a stick and like disturbing the deer and they run off, instead you like get on the wrong sort of end of the like light breeze, and it carries your scent to the deer, and your scent doesn't bother them, but your companions does. You sort of forgot that they would register as a concern for the deer, and thus the deer take off.
And they're gone. We can't like chase after.
You could chase after them.
Okay, I'm not very
spry.
Well, I am pretty quick, but I don't know if I'm as quick as these two. Am I?
What is your speed? I assume it's like 25, 30 feet.
Where would I find that?
It's going to be with your armor class.
30 feet speed.
Okay. So you're pretty standard. You could roll athletics to try and really book it. Do you guys want to take off running after this deer?
How many feet away from it?
You guys are about 70 feet away from it.
Take off running.
I got 20.
Nat 20 or dirty 20?
I got
Nat
20.
20.
Not 20.
So you guys are like, oh yeah, we'll chase that deer. And then you just see just the diminutive shape of Mouse take off at like light speed, blur of coat trailing behind her.
So sick.
Yeah, you are on this deer. Like this deer is still like turning around like, oh, that doesn't smell safe. I better run. And then just gets like full on. How are you taking down this
Body
deer?
slam, 100%. I wanna lean in with my shoulder.
RKO the deer.
No. I don't know what that move is, but I want to do that. I want to wrap my arms, like I want to like football
Suplex.
punt it,
You
but I
wanna,
also
like-
want to like grab it by its neck
And then like backflip.
yeah, go and just like have it break its neck on impact. I'm sorry, I don't. That's a little graphic.
There's a
Deer. You're like, I'm gonna fucking.
yeah.
I don't know.
You
how
guys-
deer. We
you
have
guys
to.
watch-
Okay, rolls up sleeves. Like
You guys watch Mouse like full on body slam this deer and like snap its
Oh
neck with a
my
sickening
God.
crunch.
And then afterwards, I'm like, may your spirit be in peace. I'm like really sad. Like I'm doing like prayer symbols and shit. I'm just like I'm so sorry you had to live a life of pain. It's over now. Shh. And I'm petting it, and I go as you were, and I just stab it and start gutting it, and I get all like the fleshy guts out and all the meat.
Whoa.
That he wants to eat that stuff too.
Yeah, don't skin it. That's not part of the
That's
deal.
what you did with the goat.
What goat?
Gene, you're
I don't
walking
know
on
what,
thin ice.
Like, I don't know why you're so obsessed with goats. I don't know anything about a goat.
Marillax.
It started when we went shopping, and she's just been obsessed with a goat that doesn't exist.
You are
And it's
gaslighting
really-
me, Gene.
No, I am not.
Marillax, when we went to the market, we bought a. I'm gonna cry. Marillax, when we went to the market, as I'm like gutting the deer and like throwing the organs to Gene, I am like, as we were at the market, he bought a goat, and I thought it was really
did?
cute. Yes, he did, and then it disappeared before we
I
got
don't
into the
remember that
ship.
at all.
That never happened.
I
You're so
remember it.
incorrect. I don't know how you got that into your head.
She's questioning her existence.
I really like that since me and Miralax were gone during that shopping trip, it's literally just your words against each other.
Who are you gonna believe, Marillax? Me or him?
Can I roll persuasion?
I would prefer not to have players roll against each other unless Aiden would like rolls to be made. Would you like them to roll persuasion?
I don't care. I was
You
because
just don't care about the interaction at all. You're like, go, whatever.
I remember Gene like convincing Mouse that the goat never existed, or like something like that. So I assumed that I also don't know that the goat, like, I don't know what happened to the goat.
Sounds
So I
about
was
right.
just playing along with that.
Cool.
Sorry.
I let it
Rose.
go. I let it go because I am too tired from the running. I asked one of the two. I'm like, can you put this over your shoulder and we can like start leaving. We can go and
I can carry it.
you know, thank you. I'm too small and frail.
We're gonna pivot back
Oh,
to Grimbley. playing what best can be described as a game of marshy hopscotch,
That
in
is-
which you are asked to jump between numbered little like lily pad
It's
islands
like
of like
Squid Game with
dirt
the glass.
in like this marshy patch under where the dragon is like just straight up chilling in his little tree.
He's not like in on it with me.
No, he's watching you and just like using his tail to like draw different numbers and like have you do it again.
Dance
Um,
funny, man. Dance.
Dance, snacky dance.
Yeah, perfect. I love it.
I mean, I'll do it. That sounds sick. But like, do you want to do something together at all?
No. If I exercise, I get hungry, and then you might get back on the menu.
Well, what if we play a game that's not like moving?
Do you have any suggestions?
So can I take like what I remember, like how to play that game I played with that rich guy in that room, and try to like recreate the pieces with different rocks and stuff?
So checkers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, was it just checkers?
I think it was just checkers.
You
Are
just
you
said a game.
Serious?
I believe
So-
at one point I said checkers.
Oh,
I could
okay.
be wrong.
Okay. Yeah, I want to play checkers.
For me, from my perspective, meta explaining, I thought you guys were playing like that Star Wars game where it's just like it's like basically Pokemon, but like as an illusion.
Oh, the
Yeah.
4D chess.
yeah.
From Star Wars.
I didn't know it was like actually checkers. Like
You should check the record. I might have just said a game. In my head I had it visualized as checkers.
I think
Okay.
it's really fun.
Yeah.
as
No,
checkers.
I wanted it to be checkers, but I didn't want to like put a real world thing in.
No,
it.
no, you're all good.
Yeah, it's checkers. I'm excited.
Yeah, so you proceed to teach this dragon how to play checkers.
Yeah.
And then maybe like, about halfway through your second game, your companions arrive carrying a very large deer. Who is carrying the deer?
Can I ask who won the first game?
Roll and add. Well,
I just personally want to
do
know.
you choose? Do you want to try?
Try in the sense of like I'm understanding this dragon hasn't played checkers
Mhm.
before, so I don't want to like bring in all my like full checker game
Yeah.
onto him. But like
Yeah, roll and add your intelligence for me.
21.
Incredible.
You win, but it's like narrowly. Like it's elegantly done. It's very
Yeah.
encouraging. Like you do, it's very nice. And this dragon sort of rumbles, and you get the sense that maybe it knows that you did it a certain way, and it appreciates the elegance of your maneuver. And as the deer is brought into the grove, the dragon sort of nods. Very delicately climbs down the tree. You can see its massive clawed limbs come down and grip the entire trunk of the tree, and like you can see the bark just crunch under its grip as its claws dig into the layers of it, and it climbs down onto the forest floor, takes the deer very delicately, looking very small in its massive maw, and heads off through the trees, somehow almost silent across the swampy forest floor.
This is a message. You want to put a bug on him?
Into the
I mean, oh, thank you.
This is a message for Mouse. Hey, do you want to put one of your mosquitoes on him so we don't run into him again?
That's a good idea, Gene. I only have like 2 left, so yeah, I'll do that. So I have 1. Can I do that? Actually, is that okay? Sorry.
I believe B-Sense does have a limited duration.
Ooh, okay then no. I'm sorry, buddy. It's out of my.
It's okay.
Okay.
At least you didn't get eaten.
I'll just hate you forever. Just kidding. No, I'm just like-
Yeah, that's about right.
No, okay, no, but we can definitely like spot him again. Like next time, I won't have to like find his tail and go, oh no, what's this?
Just like you spotted him.
Yeah, me spotting him, just me actually like ripping his tail out of the ground and being like, what's this, snake? Like.
And as you guys sort of grumble back and forth and chat as you head off through the woods, we are going to fade to black
Lovely.
for this week's adventure.
Perfect.
Great job, everyone. Well done. And for all those listening, thank you so much for sticking with us and enjoying this week's continuation of the unnamed KWOU Western Oregon University radio / podcast adventure. And keep an eye out for the next one, where we find out whether our merry band will survive their next I think 67 hours on the Dragon Island.
Nice.
Nice.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.